Good evening and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Kay.
I'm not playing by the rules. They can't take me for my fool.
Tonight we're going to dive into a topic that I feel like needs to be talked about. And honestly, this is just a conversation about awareness and using your voice. So tonight's episode is Speak Your Piece. So, we are currently in a very, very interesting time where being silent is definitely not going to help you in your journey. When we talk about silence, sometimes we bite our tongue. When we bite our tongue, it's because we feel like we are thinking about whomever is going to be receiving whatever we're saying on the other end. And when you bite your tongue, a lot of times, while yes, it saves the other person from who's receiving the information, but it definitely hurts a little piece of you inside because you're feeling like, dang, I'm not able to just be honest about my thoughts, be honest about how I feel, and truly be transparent. Now, I understand there's a time and place for everything, but I think we're in a current climate where right now it is time and we are at the right place politically, with relationships, with business. We are at a time where you cannot stay silent anymore. And there's a way that you must handle yourself in every situation, but I believe your voice does matter. If we just go in our current climate politically right now, we are in a space where every day democracy is continuing to be played with, to be made a mockery of, and basically it's going in the direction as if we ain't even gonna have democracy no more. But I think what needs to happen now, us as people, we got to start using our voices when it comes to relationships, whether it's friendship, dating, your spouse, whatever it may be. A lot of times we're in those relationships, and one thing that becomes a huge issue is not expressing how you feel in those moments that you feel it. Now, I understand, like I said, there's a time and place for everything, but I feel like when you are in a friendship or relationship, depending on that dynamic, let me put that out there, you need to be able to have a space in there where you feel comfortable enough to express your thoughts and feelings. And I think that's one thing I've had to learn because I ain't gonna lie, I got a spicy mouth. Okay. Listen, I'm sweet, but don't come for me and don't try me and don't play me like a fool. Because that other side of me is gonna tell you like it is. Listen, see, I got a little bit of Gussie and Virginia in me, which is both my grandmothers, and they both had mouths, okay? Spoke their piece and never held back. And I genuinely believe we're living in a climate where it's like, if I can't be real with you, I can't be around you. I can't even waste my time sitting there silent because I know at the end of the day that I'm not able to be me. I'm not able to speak my truth, and you're not able to receive my truth. That's a big part of it too. I may be able to speak my truth, but you may not be able to receive it. Some people, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Some people will be able to understand me. Some people may not. Some people like when you honest with them. Some people are not so open to honesty. But my thing about it is, I think it's so important to continuously be authentically you. And there's a way that you can do it to be respectful, but to get your point across. And I think in this current space that we're living in, y'all, there is no way that you should be walking out into this world silencing your thoughts, your feelings, and the direction that you want to move in. See, if it don't fit the direction you try to move in, you gotta call that elephant out. I think one thing people are not so used to doing or used to being able to receive is loving criticism. And when I say loving criticism, I'm saying it's coming from a place of love, but sometimes it's taken as if it's a negative connotation. It's negative. And the problem is people have been so used to people been praising them that when they hear something that don't fall in line with who they think they are, it automatically sets off a ticking time bomb. I've seen this in friendships, I've seen this in family members, I've seen this in coworkers, all of the above. And I'm realizing in this life, it's not about being liked. See, that's the problem. Everybody want to be liked. Everybody want to be liked. But nobody wants to be honest, to be real, and most importantly, come from a space of love with it. Because I think at this big old age of mine, like I said, I just ain't got it in me to, skate around. I don't have it in me to skate around. I'd rather be honest and be real with you. But most importantly, I'd rather be able to keep it real so that I can also give you some love with it too. Because I think that's the important part of being able to give love with it. Listen, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And that's real. I think anybody in any form of relationship, even in marriage, you have to have those conversations where you are keeping it real with yourself, but you are also saying it from a loving space, right? Wholeheartedly believe you are a mirror reflection of the people that you have around you. And if you got a lot of people around you who tuck their tails, who nervous to speak their truth, who constantly are kind of like in this limbo of like speaking up, but not really speaking up, if that ain't you, you might have to exit stage left, right? Like if that's, like you got to be mindful of who you are keeping around, how they represent you, and are you being your most authentic self with them? That's key. So y'all, as we are in this current climate, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the time for us to use our voice. And if you can't use your voice, make sure you get to them polls. He's going to try and do everything in his power to make sure that we lose every opportunity and right that we have worked for. This is the time to speak up, y'all. This is the time to call a spade, call folks out who ain't rocking right. But most importantly, this is a time where you hold yourself accountable. That you make sure that you're doing the work that is necessary to continue to fuel the change that we deserve to have. I wholeheartedly believe God don't give us nothing that we can't handle. And in this situation, in these times that we are in, it is important and imperative that you utilize your voice. This is the time we have to be able to speak up, and we got to be able to utilize our platforms to do so. So I really hope that you guys were able to enjoy this episode. I know it's not my norm, but it is something that I think that is important to talk about, and that's using your voice in any form or fashion. Once again, have a great evening, and thank you again for another episode of Conversations with Kay.